guys, this is John. Welcome to the free video. So obviously an explosive day in the markets. Is the Thursday of quadruple witching. We got the rut here making new highs. Of course, that's the Russell, and more importantly, the Nasdaq really cruising here and having a phenomenal kind of return back to the highs here. If we take a look at the Dow, which has been weak. It didn't certainly break out, and technically this could end up being a head and shoulders top, but you know, you can't, once something's back up above the 21 EMA, you cannot fight that. And then the same thing with the S&P's very solid breakout. What about the weaker sectors? I've had concerns about the transports. Transports also had a solid day, of course. I mean, this really is a rally to resistance at this point. And XLE, which is the energy sector, you know, even with all this, still struggling. So, you know, definitely some incredible power today. Energy was weak. Surprisingly, financials, they were up on the day, but only 0.92% compared to the rest of the market. And XLV really coming in, and just what a power breakout here, and what a beautiful squeeze happening there. Okay, so you got a lot of good stuff going on in the markets. We're seeing, in terms of biotech, healthcare, things like that, our favorite ILMN here, just you can see continuing to move higher. AMBA, which has been ridiculous, and by the way, AMBA meets some criteria that I'm going to be talking about here on Saturday, as well as BSTC. These are the kind of stocks that are actually set up deliberately to have these exaggerated moves, which is the kind of stuff as options traders we're interested in, right? Now, for a stock like BSTC that doesn't have options, is it something that we can still participate in? Yep, yeah, you might only be able to buy 100 shares of a stock at $40, but to have it quickly go to $50, that's pretty legit, as opposed to something like AMBA, where it has options, and you've got a combination of short squeeze, short low float, high short interest, all these things that come together that allow these types of moves to happen. A couple other stocks that fit the bill, kind of the same as AMBA, VDSI, that has options. Shake Shack is another one. Of course, Shake Shack, not options yet. You can see this thing's been pretty volatile. That was just a nice little short squeeze right there. Another solid one here that meets the criteria of potential explosiveness, and it does have options. So, and this one is I'm actually super excited about. So, and part of what I'm looking for here in these stocks are specific ratios. So, we're looking at the beta and the average volume in compared to the float versus short shares. And when you get all this, you get essentially a recipe for explosive upside. And so part of what we're doing too for the Saturday class is developing a filter scanner add-on. And some of you already have access, to the scanner that I'm talking about. But we're going to add this tool to the scanner where you can actually filter for this stuff, and it just brings these things up to the very top level, which is going to be awesome. So this class is going to be comprised of two different sections. There'll be a Saturday class from June 20th, and that's this Saturday, by the way. And I'm going to dive in. We're going to be talking about, we were in the room today, and it's like, hey, John, I took the ETF class last year. I took the small lot course last year. What's different about this one? Should I take it? So a couple different things. First of all, there is going to be some new concepts that I'm going to be introducing, and I'm always looking at ways to kind of gain an edge on the markets, all right? So part of that is just going to be like one of those little pieces of it. It's going to be just what I showed you there. And then there's going to be other things where I'm just, it's looking for that heads up of, here's a stock that's getting ready to have, and I'm not talking about a normal move like, oh my gosh, here's a squeeze and Amazon's going to go up $5. It's more of, this stock is exploding, okay, and being able to take advantage of that in many cases with options. So this is an options-based course. In addition to that, we're going to be focusing on the idea, strategies to consistently grow a small account, okay? And because I know this isn't about, hey, let's sell some naked puts or buy spreads. It's no. How can we do a small risk trade with a little bit of money with some potential explosive upside, okay? Now, part of this is that the markets, as we go into the second half of the year, they are much different now than they were a year ago, the last time I did a small lot class, okay? The list of stocks has changed, all right? It's kind of out with the old, in with the new. We got to dust those off. Some of the strategies have changed because some of the way that some of the other asset classes out there are acting and are behaving, and so we got to change our own trading style to kind of match that. So I'm going to be going through 4 proprietary setups that are formulated to work best in a small account, which stocks and ETFs to trade that are ideal for growing a small account, how to recognize a good setup and at the right time to enter a trade. Because what happens is it comes down to timing, timing, timing. You can be in the right stock at the wrong time and you're going to lose money. Bread and butter money management strategies to steadily grow your account while waiting for the big kill. How to identify when a stock will make a quote-unquote Greek explosion so you can be wrong and still make money. And the list goes on and on and on. Of course, you can go through and read that. And then with the 3-day class, there's going to be additional information. Now, the sweet spot of the 3-day class, of course, is that you can look over my shoulder. We're going to be doing this live. I can't make any guarantees, but my goal with that is that you make enough money trading a 1 lot to pay for the class. Okay, that's my goal with the class. And there's going to be specific strategies for people who work full-time as well. Obviously, if you can't attend any of this stuff live, it is going to be recorded. I love this one. Why it's better to wait all week to do this one trade. Alerts and scans for spotting stocks that are about to explode and how to get positioned for them. And the list goes on and on. Okay, I love doing classes like this that are based on options. That's my bread and butter, and we're going to be bringing together a lot of stuff that I've talked about over the last year into one solid package and trading strategy and overall philosophy that I think is just going to make the next half of the year amazing. So Saturday class is $497. If you would like to do the 3-day additional mentoring, well, that includes this for free. Okay, if you're newer to options, guess what? These are the simplest strategies you're ever going to learn. You don't need to know complex things like broken wing butterflies and things like that too. All right, looking forward to seeing you on this class. It's going to be awesome. This is where I'm also going to be talking about my updated and new trading plan for the rest of the year that I've been working on, and we're going to do this together. All right, see you guys at the class and have a great night.